I think we all have certain basic needs and sort of desires as people. We like the idea of congregating. So I think there is a sense that we sort of help with that ritual of life and sort of figuring out. And I think that all of us, whatever our design process is, we're all going to approach it. All designers collectively will approach that ritual of life differently. The way Katie will develop a space plan is different than the way Kelly will develop a space plan, but we all sort of have this sensibility about how we move and how we live in our space. So I think there is this this desire to experience that. I think there is that being involved with their lives beyond just setting up the rooms, beyond just creating a space, but helping them sort of execute sort of the stage of their life.
What specific elements in the overall design do you most apply the bespoke approach to?
Top to bottom. I think from the moment that we engage a prospective client, I think we're very upfront about what the client can expect from us, but at the same time what we expect of the client. It is a very collaborative process.
Yeah, and I think it can be quite grueling for the client. That's part of the thing that they need to keep in mind. When they're really looking for the lapel that's just so, or the tuck at the waist that suits their body type the best. That involves a lot of conversation and a lot of listening and a lot of getting to know you. And it's a very involving process, and it takes time to create these process of refining a design idea and then having it made. I mean, even the billing process, because often there are many, many elements that are involved in a simple lampshade or something like that.
And it's not right for a lot of people.
It's not right for a lot of people, but I do think, just to get back to we sort of lifestyle coaches and things like that, I've definitely recommended chefs and recommended, ways that they can use their different space, as you say, like really try to teach them how to inhabit a living room. Put the game table over in that corner. Can you funnel the music over here? And trying to figure out ways that enliven the space so they don't become just these volumes of unused territory.
It's such an evolved profession. I think that our sort of mentors, when we were first coming into the field, really had their specific looks. If you wanted a certain look, you went to a certain designer, you knew exactly what you were going to get from them. That's not what people expect anymore. And it's really about getting into their lives and digging in there and finding out, okay, where do your kids throw their books when they come home from school? Where do they stash their rollerblades? All of those things are what makes you a great designer and a good friend to your client. And even if you're not doing residential, even if you're doing hospitality or restaurants or whatever else, it's less about your vision as an artist. Not that that vision is not important. It's certainly the reason they're hiring you, but they have to go hand in hand.
Has the recent environment over the last year and a half affected maybe where clients are allocating their dollars and what they want to put the bespoke approach to?
Yes, this recession has affected people so much, tremendously. It's giving them a new perspective on their interiors and making them make very specific choices and where they really want to see something very special versus maybe something that's not as special. And that doesn't mean that we don't give as much attention to the piece that's not going to cost as much money. It just probably means we're taking less of a cut because we're all passionate about what we do. And so I think really we're working harder for half as much.
And it's true. You have to really listen to them when they're expressing their frustration that things are too expensive or taking too much time. And I recently had a real run-in with, I find like with some of my wealthy clients, is that they are deal makers. They are used to the art of the deal. They're afraid they're not getting the best deal. They're always looking to negotiate. And so my trick these days is, and it's working, it's been a breakthrough for me, is acknowledge that yes, they're frustrated. Yes, they wish it cost less. And here's, your restoration hardware, your whatever it is, headboard with their nail heads, and here's mine. It's your choice. This one costs this and this one costs that. This is your special guest house where you're going to hang out and bring all your friends. Which do you want? I'll give you whichever one you want.
I find that the methodology, even through this downturn in the economy, the methodology doesn't change. And I think that's the beauty of the bespoke process, is that the relationship is there. And that's what you want to do, is you want to have that relationship long term. And if they know that you're the standard, you're the tradition, and they want the product done the way that you approach it, the way that you detail it, that will be there when times are thin and when times are good.
Do you think that more modest budgets can benefit from the bespoke approach as well?
Oh,
or do you think
no, I don't think it's just for luxury. I think that the bespoke approach applies to all design projects very well. Again, it's a methodology, it's a process. It's not to say that every single piece in someone's home is going to be custom, and that every single piece is going to be specific to that home. Project as a whole is specific to that family, to that individual, that it is tailored to them. So yes, of course we have to bring in retail pieces, and of course we have to reuse things. But at the end of the day, it's a specific project to their specific lifestyle. It's tailored just to them, and the detail is going to have our eyes, and it's going to have our attention to that detail.
How do you keep your clients, and this is, I think we're going to end on this question. In the upscale market, it's packaged together so nicely and marketed very well. So how do you appreciate their own sensibility?
I spend a lot of time in the beginning of projects listening to my clients. I want them to talk and talk and talk and talk. And the first few times I meet with them, I do very little talking, so that later on, I have all these little psychological bits and pieces that I can use as weapons against them. Really, that's my trick. Yeah.
For us, it's a process of really listening to the client and really educating them about how we can tailor the space to them, through even the smallest things, the fit of a chair, storage solutions that are appropriate. I think they appreciate that, and they see that they start to go, oh, right, this is just more about me. And you have to force them to be more introspective and less worried about what the interior is going to say to other people. I mean, I think so oftentimes, people drive a certain car to project a certain image, but I think your home can't be that to truly be yours.
Eyes open and your ears open, and you just don't let any of it go. You really, you kind of don't throw out the Jamie Drakes or the Thomas O'Briens or anything. You kind of make it all work.
If he has any. Again, Kelly, Chris, Katie, Krissa, if you have any questions.